Hi, I'm Tracy Weens of Old PDX Homes, and I'm here today with architectural historian Eric Wheeler to talk about this magnificent Colonial Heights home.
And Tracy, we have a building built in 1912. It's the William Lawson house. William Lawson was a very eclectic entrepreneur involved in many different businesses. So here we have in Colonial Heights sort of a fusion of different architectural aesthetic impulses, the prairie style, as well as a more formal colonial style. And then on the first story, as we'll see when we go inside, lots of windows. And many of the windows are embellished with Povey glass. And I'll say more about Povey glass. So Lawson assembled the best materials, the best workmen, and an architect to design this landmark home. Should we have a look inside? I'll get the door for you, Tracy. Step in. Throughout the downstairs, we have the Honduran mahogany trim, flooring with this lovely rectilinear detailing, which is mahogany, but the flooring itself is likely Oregon white oak. So already we can see, in terms just of the materials and workmanship, this is a pretty classy building, right? Let's go take a look at the living room. Look at this incredible multi-tiered crown molding out of Honduran mahogany. So no expense spared, nothing cut back here. We see the trim around the windows, around the passageway. So again, we have our oak floors. The detailing here in the hearthstone is the attention to detail that you will see in a custom designed home designed by an architect, which we have here. Step into the library, and again here we have a somewhat of a formal passage with pocket doors. This amazing attention to detail in the leaded glass, in the colored glass. The Povey brothers' father, George Povey, was trained in England in the ancient tradition of glasswork, been around since the Roman times. Handed down from craftsman, from master to apprentice. His boys and his daughters came to America in the mid-19th century, and then like many young people in the day, they went west. And they ended up in Portland in the 1880s. The first Povey family commission was First Presbyterian Church with over-the-top stained glass. So that sort of cemented the reputation, and from that time on, from 1888 on, if you were going to build a house or a church or a mansion that was elegant, you had Povey glass. Notice the transom window. That's that narrow window over this, what we were going to call now a picture window, and that's Povey glass. It's beveled glass, it's beveled and leaded and colored, and the Poveys love to use the floral motif. So we'll see that in this window, and we'll see this in other windows as well. This was the library. So we have our bookshelves with our wonderful replicated leaded glass doors that again sort of tie into that kind of craftsman aesthetic. Notice the sort of like coat of arms or shield motif that we see repeated across the top. So we're almost kind of referencing a little Art Moderne or Art Deco. So again, here's another marker that the designer, the architect Willard Tobey, was saying, this is a modern house built for a modern family. This is my favorite room. It's formal, but not too formal. It has those reminders that with the leaded glass, here we see that shield motif that repeats again. We can see motifs, repeated motifs in the doors for the shelving, the oak paneling on the walls. We have oak, which is very, high style, is high quality oak. And I think the box beams, they're Honduran mahogany. But I think it's really important to notice the attention to detail, both in terms of material and workmanship, is consistent throughout the house. So what you see here today is essentially what William Lawson and his wife would have seen when they moved into this house in 1912. The central hallway and central staircase were a defining element in early American colonial architecture. But it's not a typical stairway. It's not really a spiral stairway. It's kind of, there's two landings, so it brings you upstairs. It's sort of a gentle approach to the second story. It's not like you're coming straight up and you see it. It's almost like you come up this stairway with this wonderful, look at this little curved banister, the curved handrail. And we have the Honduran mahogany. So Tracy, we're going to end up where we started. And so it seems like every time I visit this house, I see something new. So it's just been a delight, as always, to visit the house. I thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, thank you. I think we've learned a lot about this magnificent home, and your descriptions and history just bring it even
more to life.
Thank you.